All These Worlds, Bobiverse Book 3 by Dennis E. Taylor. This book starts out just as the second book did, with original Bob following around the Deltons, although this time he's in his new android, so living among them. After he got ousted from the tribe, following him around with the drone, made him a little uncomfortable, he was able to infiltrate with his android and follow Archimedes around. He does that by using the same technology that the other Bobs have developed for basically living among the people that they moved. And I have to say that's one thing that Dennis E. Taylor does well with his books. He doesn't just go with his characters and say, oh, we need bodies for ourselves because I'm tired of being a spaceship, and oh, here we go, here's a perfectly working android body. And now with the story, he has many iterations. First one's a little clunky, a little bit big, and slowly the Bobs get together and refine it until it's a passable working device that they can wear and move around and also link into. Even though if they're not in the system, they can link into it from far away and basically experience any of the worlds that they've settled people on. And obviously Bob 1 uses it to interact with the caveman Deltons and is passable enough for them to believe that he is a Delton and not the Bob always keeping an eye on him. This book is a little bit of a bittersweet because I really did like the series. This book is probably the best one. Like I said before, I think these are his first books. I'm not entirely sure, but if they are his first books, he's definitely learning how to hone his writing skills. But after reading this book, I feel like he kind of wrapped it up. It feels like it's the end of a trilogy, and he puts a nice little bow on it and finishes it up real nice. But I seriously doubt he's going to have any other books after this one. Hopefully it does well, and he's compelled to write another one. He's definitely left a lot of space open for additions, but I really like where he took the book as far as the Bobs replicating to the point to where there's like 500 Bobs now, and the original Bobs are almost like celebrities. All of them are different. They all have the same core memories, but every time an iteration comes out, they go off their separate way, explore, or deal with a certain task, and have almost become servants to the humans, just dealing with things so people can live their lives, move to whatever world they're being evacuated to, and they're kind of getting sick of it at this point. Some of the Bobs, the original Bobs, like Bob 1, are pretty rare, whereas they spend their entire existence researching their pet project and not really dealing with the day-to-day details of moving a civilization. There still is that looming threat of the others to deal with in this book, as well as countless other problems that they have to solve. On top of the hostile aliens that they've had to deal with, they also have a civil war basically going on one of the planets, and numerous other problems. Like I said, Dennis E. Taylor does a good job of making the struggles seem realistic and not just everything working flawlessly, which is good because good stories tend to mean that the characters are challenged. The story wouldn't be interesting if everything worked perfectly for the first time. The one funny problem that comes up is they've obviously made some advancements with the androids, but the Bobs are the only ones that really have had their brains scanned and uploaded onto their computers, and no one else really wants to take the plunge. If someone's sick, they just die. They don't ever want to get scanned. And they've covered that in the first couple of books where you're not really living forever by being scanned and uploaded. It's a separate entity. For all the other characters in the book, basically want to avoid that, which seems a little odd to me. You'd think people would be crawling all over each other to get that kind of opportunity when they get older. But it is a problem that the character has to deal with. And obviously the various legal issues that may be involved with that. He spends some time dealing with that as well as developing these other worlds, other planets, other cities. Some of it seems a lot like Star Trek and Star Wars references, which again isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're a fan of those franchises. But again, the author doesn't try to pass it off as original. He does reference those books and movies. But like I said, he wrote it in a way where it was very entertaining. And so my problem is that he did seem like he ended it. There's still a lot of different directions you could go with the stories. But this one I think is meant to be the final book in this series. Whether he does another something in the same universe down the road, who knows? But as for right now, it does look like it's at an end. But after reading this series, I definitely think I'm going to be following the author, looking for whatever else he can come up with. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll talk to you next time.